Here's the plan. The message is out. It's only a matter of time before they get it. We sent a location too, so we wait there.
That's it?
Yeah, pretty much.
So we're just ignoring the freak tall bloody skeleton you were chatting up?
He agreed to tag along with us for a job.
Just like that?
Look, he's the reason we have these extra cats.
He just gave them to you.
Here's the thing. You all know the twins are gonna want a favor. Whether we like it or not, we'll be heading into the pits or narco knows where. The skeleton said he's in it for the thrill of the hunt. I figured, better he's on our side when things go to hell.
He sounds psychotic, Urson.
We're likely to end up doing crazy things anyway.
He looks like a very old model skeleton. Could have seen centuries. I wouldn't mind having a chat with him.
You can try, but he doesn't strike me as the chatty type.
I'm not saying I'm against this. Just be careful. Skeletons. You never know what they're up to.
Didn't expect you to have something in common with the Okrinites.
I've been around, all right? It's hard enough figuring out what a human's thinking. But a skeleton? They don't even twitch.
Oyun, can I ask you something?
Go ahead.
On your way here, did you ever meet a woman who goes by the name West Dragon?
We did.
Is she all right?
We didn't come to blows, if that's what you're worried about. Left on agreeable terms. But I wouldn't say she's entirely all right.
Please forgive her outbursts. The Holy Nation's been especially cruel to her. But I never got to thank her. She's the reason I made it to Mongrel.
We can stop by on the way back, once we head to the Shek Kingdom.
I'd like that. I want to see with my own eyes that she's safe.
What exactly did the Holy Nation do to her?
There are punishments so cruel, even the faithful would flinch. But some lords, they go further. I noticed that her
tongue was split in half.
a spawn of narco, made real. They say that's what happens to orphans who lash out, but no one talks about it, not really.
What about you? Why did you leave?
My farm was going to be seized after my husband passed. As a woman, I had no right to keep the land. No son, no heir, meant no claim. I'd have been forced to remarry. And if I refused, I'd be sent to rebirth.
Just fucking typical.
Will you stop looking at me?
Was I looking? Is it making you nervous?
Look, as amusing as this is, that old man, he's no paladin.
I'll drop it when people stop acting like they're hiding something.
Taunt. He may be grumpy and on edge, but Crumblegen's always been kind to me. I don't think he was one either.
Enough. We're close to a settlement.
A settlement? Out here?
What are you doing here? You were locked up in a cage on the opposite end of this prison. Your handler's gonna be worried sick.
Got bored of that spot, and I got a message.
This should be good. All right, hit me.
Urson's back.
Let me guess. He wants us out.
Pretty much. Says Taryn and Green are with him. Also dragging around some United Cities brat.
The hell is he dragging a brat along for?
No clue.
I do miss Green. Taryn I could live without. So, should we finally get out of here?
Maybe. I hate to give up on the plan so early, though. And I know these guards will miss us.
Yeah. Nothing like a few nightly beatings to make you feel at home.
We are running low on the food we smuggled in, and the guards have been stingier than ever lately. For some reason.
It's your call.
One more practical joke before we go.
Something special to remember us by?
I always did find it hard to say goodbye.
All right, but we improvise. Few things here ever go to plan.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
This looks like a hive settlement, but something is really wrong with it.
Do you think it's the source of these fogmen?
Could be one of them.
There are plenty of weaklings to crush.
Beep is ready for the crushing!
That's gonna have to wait. We're not here to deal with that. We have to get to obedience.
Disdain. Again, you make us run from a fight.
Ruka, what did I just say before we headed out?
Disgraceful.
Look at them all. Why do they have so many prisoner poles?
I think it's best we don't find out. At least not yet. I will mark this location down for later. But for now, let's move out. Quietly.
Eyes front, Buckethead!
We stand and fight!
Beep!
That was a close one. My wife would have been worried.
You're what now?
Here come more. Oyun, we take the high ground, less fog up there. And thus Grimm said, "Let there be face bashing."
This wouldn't have happened in my youth.
Whatever you do, don't bleed on my boots.
They wouldn't have landed a single hit on me. Ah, to be back in my prime again.
What the hell are you muttering about, you senile old fossil?
All right, enough. We've got injured.
Was that enough action for you flathorns?
He will die. A warrior's death.
Please, I'm fine.
I'm only carrying you till your leg stops dragging. Otherwise, you'll just slow us down.
Flickshot, let's find a place to set up camp. You, me, Grimm, Shrike, and Crumblejohn will take the first watch.
Of course, my lord.
What? I'm injured too!
I detect a few bruises to the chest. Should heal within the night, even for you.
Who have no respect for your elders.
Quite the opposite. I respect you enough to trust you to take first watch and protect the others while they recover.
All right, all right. If it keeps that crazy woman away from me.
Careful now, old man. I sleep with both eyes open.
Shrike, have you ever gotten this far on your last attempt?
We did. Getting overwhelmed by those hivers is what put an end to our run.
I'm sorry.
We were fools who thought we could one day challenge the world. Not that different from you, come to think of it.
I suppose I'd rather be a fool than someone who never even tried.
Even in the face of everything that happened when you did try?
Everything. I don't know. I still don't know what I would do in the event of betrayal.
You could try not trusting people so easily.
Huh. I don't trust others that easily. Right now, only one of you has seen me without this hat.
I've been meaning to ask about that. Any significance to it?
Not really. It's just been useful. Against rain, sandstorms, the usual.
There isn't a storm now.
Now it's a habit.
I hope I'll get to see that face one day.
Is it that important to you?
Others said you had moments where your words brought hope. I just want to also have a face attached to it.
So, you've been asking the others about me?
I was curious.
Should I be worried about the gossip?
Probably not.
Probably?
Probably not.
Hey, machine.
Anything I can do for you, my lord?
Must you watch so closely over them? That can make people uncomfortable.
They are under my protection.
Typical skeletons. Your techniques look authentically samurai.
I was trained as one.
And you can't remember who by?
I have lived a very long time.
But you're a machine.
With only so much space for memory, it has to be reset every now and again.
And you can't prevent that, or ensure some information stays with you.
I can only save information about my being.
So that's how you still know your name, and that you're a samurai?
Yes.
But the information on who trained you was not important enough to save.
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? Forget it. Tell me what happens if you don't reset.
My memory could become corrupted. Old information would start conflicting with the new. To you, I would simply go mad. Hence why we all have an automatic reset after a certain amount of time depending on our model.
You don't even have a choice.
I don't.
Huh. How long until you'll forget this conversation even happened?
I don't know. It depends how long until my reset is due.
What about all of them? Will they go with the reset too?
I don't know.
I hope we're on the right track. There is something really disturbing about how this place feels.
You're not wrong to be disturbed. It is said that there are still some ancient machines roaming these wastelands, and that they are hostile to all who enter. There are also rumors of a band of lunatics that snatch people up. To what ends? I will just let your imagination do the work.
Why would there be a lab here of all places?
Who knows? No lab I ever looted ever had notes that expressly said why the building was there. Most of them were scribbles, nonsense, or riddles locked behind equations meant for minds far bigger than mine.
It sounds like you're not really good at science, are you?
I'm not, no.
That's a shame. We were hoping we had found someone who could work on our research bench.
You didn't mention that. If you assumed I'd be good at science just because I was a tech hunter, I have to disappoint you. Most of us don't know squat about science, and often escort at least one individual who does have a clue.
So much for finding brainiacs in the fog.
Are you just going to leave me behind after I help you find the lab?
Don't be ridiculous. You're part of the crew now.
Incredible. To think that there were once machines this large that used to walk with us.
And so many of them.
It looks like they've been buried alive, or are still being slowly buried alive.
And they are still trying to escape.
Grasping the air as if trying to reach for something.
The price of obedience.
So far, descriptions from what you recited from your document seem to match. However, I still see no lab.
I think it should be around there. Let's look around that way.
Hold on, that's not a natural ramp.
I'll be damned.
I guess. This is the place. 3 fools I knew had to die before I found this.
Shrike, stop beating yourself over it.
Oyun.
I need you to be focused. I need all of you to be focused. We don't know what could still be lurking in there guarding it.
This is one heck of a lock. I may need a bit.
Eyes up, everyone. We'll have your back, Risa.
Lord, hear me as I speak. O Okran, bringer of flame, guardian of the light, warden of the sky, shine down thy righteous fury upon the wicked, and lend ear to thy servant in this hour of judgment. Brothers and sisters, gather close. Let your hearts not tremble at the truth, but be fortified. For today I cast voice against abominations, not only the rusted husks that march in mockery of life, but the sin-bloated hands that dared shape them. We know the evil of the skeleton, that soulless, shambling echo of man, forged not of flesh, but of steel and arrogance, a thing that walks without prayer, that speaks without soul, that thinks without grace. A being that feels no pain, for it has never known Okran's love. But let us not forget, skeletons were made. They did not crawl from some pit by dark magic. No, worse. They were born in the halls of science, the altar of the proud, the temple of the unfaithful. Do you not see? In their hubris, the scientists, false priests of wires and glass, sought to find Okran. They peeled apart the stars, they boiled the oceans, they dissected the breath of man. And when they found no throne, no face, no voice to command their hearts, they built one. A god of bolts, a god of code, a god they could control, and in doing so, they mocked heaven. Okran was not silent, they were deaf, and their creation is the consequence. Mock not the heavens, brothers. Do not hammer together gods in the forge. For when man presumes himself a creator, he births not life, but desecration. When he dares to shape Okran in steel, he earns only flame, and flame did come. The fall of their towers, the scouring of the old world. That was not an accident. That was judgment. Skeletons wander still, refusing death, seeking dominion. They whisper lies to your children. They wear the shape of kin. They speak of peace, of reason, of shared futures. But they are not alive. They are ghosts of the great sin. And where they walk, Okran weeps. So I say, burn them. Burn their old labs and towers, their sunken knowledge, their heretic scrolls. Let no cog or chip remain. Let the fields be sown with ash, that only wheat of truth may grow. Remember this, flock of Okran, we were made by light. They were made by ambition. We are guided by faith. They are driven by calculations. We have souls. They have scripts. So rise each day in prayer. Guard your heart from false prophets, from machine whispers and silver tongues. Stand with your brothers, your paladins, your high lords, and never forget, Okran does not live in circuits. Okran is not an invention. Okran is eternal. Glory to Okran, death to the false, death to the machine, death to the maker of machines.